Cheers.
Cheers.
Sip. So, pretty good, right?
Yeah, I love this.
So today, I have a very special guest star, our first guest on Mimosa Monday. This is my mom, as most of you know, or could have guessed. I'm so excited to have my mom here today. There's like a million things that I could have asked her to speak about today. She's an incredibly talented woman. She did the stenciling here. She can do everything. But today she's going to be speaking about being a great host, right? Cool. Host or hosts? Yeah. Okay, great. So, Mom, I'm going to hand it over to you.
All right. Thank you so much for having me today. This is awesome. Well, as Maddie said, you know, I love to entertain, I love to cook, I love to teach cooking, and so this is exciting for me to come, and I'm going to follow Natalie's format with her 5 tips for Mimosa Mondays. And so the 5 tips have to do with entertaining, and so I'm going to frame it as to things you need to know. So the first thing I really feel is important, this is very important actually, you need to know your guests, and with that, what I mean is there's so many people now with allergies, you know, food allergies, ingredients, things that they really can't have or shouldn't have, and so as a hostess, I need to know that. I would really feel comfortable, and actually all these tips are going to help us to de-stress as hosts and hostesses. So they're all going to kind of go together in that framework. But with knowing you know, your guests, you're going to maybe, I mean, you don't want to get into their medical history, of course. You don't want to do that. Well, some things that you could do, first of all, I would recommend this highly. Text them, call them would be even better, and say, I am so excited about Friday night. You know, I can't wait till you guys come. We're going to have the best time. I just wanted to check with you. Are there some foods maybe that you're avoiding these days, or maybe some things that you would prefer that I didn't fix? And so,
which is really nice. So I have a gluten intolerance, as some of you know, and I always hate telling people when I'm not asked, because then I'm that high maintenance girl that has all these requests and someone's making me dinner, which is really nice. And so I don't want to be like, oh, hey, by the way, you know, I have this annoying thing that you have to deal with now. But I really love when the host asks me, because then I don't feel weird, and I don't feel like I have to bring it up. And it's also the worst time to bring it up is at the dinner. So I would never want to not tell them and then get there and then not eat anything, and it's just kind of a mess. So it's awesome if someone asks ahead of time.
That's great. That's great. And it is very common nowadays. I mean, and if I know ahead, it's so easy to just make sure that I've addressed that, and I know that my guests are going to have a great time. So number 1, know your guests. Number 2, know your budget. It is so easy these days to like break the bank and get so excited about whoever you're having over that you want to buy this and buy that, and you really shouldn't do that. I mean, like I said, we want to eliminate stress from this dinner party or get together, whatever, and so if you stay within your budget, which is so important, then you will eliminate that stress. How do you do that? Well, first of all, figure out your budget. Figure out what you're comfortable spending for that meal. You don't want to take your grocery money for the next 3 weeks. That's major stress. There's little things you can do. Instead of going to buy fresh flowers, you can put the fruit bowl. You know, make that your centerpiece. You could, you know, pick some fresh branches outside that are maybe in bloom, like the forsythia or the apple right now. You could bring in
what was that first one?
Forsythia. A yellow flower. So you could do that.
Mom has a green thumb.
You can also, you know, like if you have an African violet in bloom or an orchid, you could use that. So there's like a whole little expense that you just eliminated. I love using the fruit bowl idea though. That's so easy because that's your dessert. That's your, you know, your centerpiece.
That's great.
So definitely know your budget. So number 1, know your guests. Number 2, know your budget. Number 3, which leads right into number 3 perfectly, is know your menu. Now that you know what your guests can eat, and now that you know what your budget is, you can, this is the most exciting part for me, because I get to plan out, and like if you're having a party 2 days from now, you don't have a whole lot of time, But if you have the time, you know, like for the week ahead,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can start reading the recipes, which I would highly advise. Make sure you have the ingredients. And some people say, you know, don't try something you've never tried before. I don't follow rules like that. If you want to make something for your guests, go ahead. If it's in your budget and you know your guests can eat it, go ahead, try it. Just make sure you read that recipe and you allot yourself enough time to make it. Okay, so that's your menu, and have fun creating that, and don't go overboard. Keep it simple. Healthy, fresh ingredients are easy to put together. They taste great, and you really don't need to do a lot. It just comes together beautifully. Okay, so number 1 was know your guests.
Yep.
Number 2, know your budget. Number 3, know your menu. Number 4, one of the most important things, you need to know your schedule.
Oh my goodness.
So you need to, and when I say know your schedule, I don't mean just know it here. I mean write it down.
She has like a whole list about what time she's putting something in the oven and taking it out, and when the guests are arriving, and when she's unpackaging, you know, whatever things she's wrapped up ahead of time.
And
So.
that could actually be a whole nother, I could expand on any of these tips. But yes, know your schedule, write it down, and this is one of, I've learned this over the years, you know, so there's a million things I could say here, but one of the things that I think is most important for me, because you know you get those little jitters just before everybody comes, in my schedule I try to allot at least an hour of buffer time. If I need to go sit down, have a cup of herbal tea,
Or something stronger.
or no, that's one thing I go to before I entertain. I want to be very, you know, with it to create my whatever. So yeah, I know my schedule, and I write it down. So I stick to that, but I do give myself a little buffer time to relax.
Yeah.
So that's important.
And to get dressed, right?
To get dressed, and there's always those guests that, you know, they're kind of free spirits, you know, they want to come a little early, that's fine, and I want to be dressed and ready to go and invite them, you know, welcome them at the front door. I don't want to be, have, you know, someone else answer the door. I want to be there, I want to embrace them, I'm so excited that they're here, and I want to make them feel welcome. Okay, so number 1 was know your guests.
Yep.
Number 2 was know your budget. Number 3 was know your menu. Very good. Number 4, repetition is really good for learning.
Mom taught 3rd grade for a while.
No 3rd grade jokes though, so don't worry. So number 4 was know your schedule and write it down and keep it in your kitchen.
Yep.
And number 5, know how to have a good time.
Yeah.
So if you've done all these things, and you should be well set up to have a stress-free dinner party, but you need to have the mindset that it is not about the food, although being Italian, that's really hard for me to say. It's not about the food.
It's like this much. It's a lot about the food, but
really the most important thing is that you have taken the time to invite your guests over. They're going to appreciate it. You're going to share, have a wonderful time with them.
Yeah.
And that's really the most important thing. All my best memories are with, you know, entertaining and having friends, family, whoever you bring over is always welcome. And so let's get our mimosas, and I'm going to toast to.
All right.
Okay, and so here's to all the hosts and hostesses out there. I hope my tips have helped you, and just entertain.
Yeah. And if you want to look good while you're entertaining, so my mom makes the most incredible aprons. I'm sure some of you guys out there know this. Some of you have aprons from my mom, but her name of her business is Flowers of Cotton, and she does all the designing herself. She hand chooses the fabrics. They're hand stitched. They are the best quality. Not to be too salesy, but she's my mom. They're amazing.
Shouldn't get biased.
They are amazing. So definitely check out her website. I'm gonna post a link to it too, flowersofcotton.com. But that's also a great way to go into the the hostess
to feel good.
hosting. Yeah, because you know, if you do say someone shows up early and you're in the middle of cooking, but you've got this cute apron on, you look super put together, and you're not going to feel insecure because you look great. So.
And they're reversible, so you can just flip it around if you got a little flower on there. There's a million more things I could have shared with you, but
she'll be back.
But I'm so happy I can do this today. Thanks, honey.
You're going to be a recurring guest.
Okay, thank you
Love
so
you.
much.
Happy other things.
Love you too.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for coming. Bye.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Bye.
everybody. Have a great week.
Cheers.